after her last birthday, whereupon her mother sent a necklace of lapis lazuli. Celeste Tolliver knew she wasn't going to blossom into a great beauty. Her nose was too large, her lips too wide and sour, her face too long. She was curveless, dimpleless, too tall, and too thin. She could not mention this, however, to any woman at Dogwood House. They were all beauties in their own ways. And beauty never understands the plight of the ugly. Omi had always been beautiful. Gopo talked about it with every story he told of her. Aunt Anna was beautiful in a broad, smiley way, though not recently, of course. Even Hazel was a dimply, chubby, lively little thing. It really was such a colossal disappointment to herself that she was ugly, and even more disappointing because she was meant to be forlorn over the war and distant heathens and schoolwork, not her looks. Yes, she was a hard worker and she was pious and chaste and had obtained all the proper manners a girl required. Celeste had even founded their local chapter of the unofficial Junior Red Cross. Officially, they couldn't wear the red band, but they sewed socks and baked hearty goods and sent them to soldiers regardless. And yet, she remained ugly. Celeste was beginning to think the stories where the plain girl becomes beautiful with the power of good deeds were lies. There was one such storyteller at Dogwood House who didn't care about girls and novels. No, he cared about the telling of the truth. What had started as a response to one of Celeste's sarcastic remarks had grown into a frenzy for the young ones. A local paper with local stories about the local people. The children wrote a column each, based off of the real thing, and had Aunt Ginny type the finished copies for them. Once finished, the subscriptions were sold for 5 cents door to door or at the farm stand on Saturday afternoons. Orion Ratliff sold milk, fruits, vegetables, preserves, and papers. The papers were his favorite parts, though he hated to watch the adults laugh under their hands when they read them in the square. The children convened weekly at Willow Pond to discuss their additions to Orion's collection, as he was the editor, of course. The person who has the idea is always the editor, though it was difficult to collect as Orion did. Not everyone has the knacky way of getting stories out of people. Hazel, for example, was practically thrown out of her mother's room for asking where do babies come from. But even Orion had his difficulties. He was suspecting he would have to soon look outside of his family. Though he really did like and love Auntie Ginny, she told fibs, and not fibs like Orion did, who didn't mind a tiny baby fib to excite a story up, but a real, genuine fibber. He could see her making the fib up as she spoke. He didn't think she really did see fairies in a haunted English wood after all. Some nights the stories in Orion's head swirled around so he couldn't sleep, or his mind wouldn't slow, or he wondered if fairies and goblins and nymphs really did exist. So, he would slip into the woods while Dogwood House slept. In the moonlight, with the star-sparkled water, Orion felt anything could be true, like God, or fairies, or magic pails that could capture the moon, but only at night. In the daylight, his father was at war, his sister was dead, his mother was bereft, and he only cared about true stories, like in Uncle Malcolm's letters.
Orion, you're finally back. I wondered if you were in one of your black moods and was worried. Hazelnut, what are you still doing up? How can I sleep when you're out there? How can I sleep when the Dogwood bi-monthly needs my essay? Oh, Ori, do you really think we're cheering people up? You'll never know if you don't go to sleep. Why do you get to stay up and wander? I want to wander. Let's go out now. My head hurts too much to sleep. We'd better go out before the sun comes up. If I tell you your name story, will you go to bed?
A long time ago, a man named Robin Ratliff met a girl named Anna Ambrose. He was kind and gentle, and she was sweet and generous. One day, that kind man was called away to help rebuild an old farmhouse. Anna missed him so badly, so she followed him there and offered her aid. One night, the two sat under a tree hoping to see the full moon, but instead were pelted by little brown nuts that fell from